The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
Just another day in paradise, riding, of course, the light rail to the ball game. Not a bad idea. Families gathering here at Chase Field, where tonight the Arizona Diamondbacks play Game 1 of a 4-game series rolling into the All-Star break with the Florida Marlins. All the action on Fox Sports Arizona. Hello there, folks, and welcome back to the ballpark. He is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton. Glad to have you with us. A unique perspective. When you look at these two teams, both of them have interim managers, Gracie. And when you talk about the situation, here's how it goes. You obviously can get yourself into a full-time role as a manager if you look at Edwin Rodriguez, who came up from the minor leagues, or Kirk Gibson, who was on the current big league staff. But if you do yourself good, you're also doing the organization a great favor as well.
Yeah, these are certainly tryouts for both these guys. Edwin Rodriguez, a couple of weeks on the job. Now Kirk Gibson, 6 days on the job. Guys are trying out for their playing time with these new managers, and yet the more wins you get, the better chance you got to manage this ball club for years to come.
Kirk Gibson speaks, and I would imagine on behalf of all 4 interim managers that are in Major League Baseball, 2 in the American League as well, on the things he looks to, the reasons and the ways for motivating his club.
Like, I know there's more in their tank. That's what I believe. And even if they don't believe it themselves, that's how I'm going to approach it. Management, upper-level management, they'll make the decision whether they want to get impatient with some of these people around here and move them out of the organization. But the way I see it is I'm going to show confidence. I'm going to try and motivate them to believe in themselves and never give in. We're going to ask them to change a lot of things and not get frustrated with the process.
It's interesting because he talks about the pressure he's putting on the players, and then, Gracie, he makes it clear, I hope all of my bosses are watching when I do this.
That's exactly right, because like you said, it's tryout time for Kirk Gibson. He's a guy that has looked forward to this opportunity for a long, long time, ever since his playing days ended. So now he's got the opportunity. He's got some guys that he feels he can mold. That's what his job is right now, to mold these guys and get themselves to believe again in themselves and believe they are winners.
All right, also tonight, it's a treat. We're going to go interactive with you on FoxSportsArizona.com. Mike Berger, who develops all the young minor leaguers, will join us for an inning or two. If you'd like to ask him a question, go to FoxSportsArizona.com, the Diamondbacks page. Click on Email the Booth. We're going to learn about some of the youngsters that, as Berger said just a few moments ago, have a pretty fast track right now to the major leagues. We like to call it here on a regular basis, waiting in the wings.
Waiting in the wings.
So that is the situation. The Diamondbacks going head-to-head with the gentlemen that are visiting from South Florida. Who is the final All-Star also for the big game? Mark McClune will tell us right after this. proud partner of the Diamondbacks. Colorado Tourism. Start planning your Colorado summer adventure today at Colorado.com. Southwest Airlines. Visit Southwest.com. Grab your bag. It is on.
And welcome back to downtown Phoenix. Mark McClung with you on the field, just about set for game one of the series between the Marlins and the Arizona Diamondbacks. The final series of the first half of the season for Arizona. Of course, Chris Young is going to Anaheim for the Diamondbacks to represent the team in the All-Star game. And then this time last year, we were talking about Mark Reynolds and making a mad push to get him to the All-Star game all around baseball this week. Teams did similar things, and let's take a look at the winners for the final roster spot of the All-Star teams. We'll start in the National League. It's Joey Votto, no surprise there. Probably the biggest all-star stub. He leads the National League with 21 home runs. In the American League, it's Nick Swisher going. He edged out the Red Sox, Kevin Youkilis, in the tightest race in this contest history. A chance for fans to go on MLB.com and vote Nick Swisher a social mediaite. Had everybody out and was tweeting like crazy and edged out Swisher. So a Yankee beating a Red Sox. One of the piece of all-star news, in case you didn't see it last night, Heath Bell of the Padres, the only member of their bullpen, going to the game. When we come back, it's the first pitch. It's Anibal Sanchez, a guy who once threw a no-hitter against the Diamondbacks, against Rodrigo Lopez on Fox Sports Arizona.
Minor leaguer and a bit in the big leagues with the New York Yankees and San Diego Padres. He is the skipper, Edwin Rodriguez. He was the manager in AAA New Orleans, trying to shake that interim label, as we mentioned, replacing Freddie Gonzalez, released as the skipper. And this is the lineup that he pencils in. Chris Coghlan, Gabby Sanchez, what a rookie year he is having. Hanley Ramirez, Jorge Cantu, former D-back Dan Uggla, Cody Ross, Mike Stanton, another special rook we'll take a look at. And Brett Hayes, Anibal Sanchez. Oh, there we go. Well, there's your news. LeBron James, as announced earlier, I'm sure all of you know by now that he is going to play for the Miami Heat. And just like that, Chris Coghlan is erased on a pop-up to Chris Snyder. Defensively, the Diamondbacks. A little bit of a shake-up. CY given a day off, so Gillespie is in center. Kirk Gibson saying he likes Parra's arm better in left. Reynolds, Drew, Johnson, LaRoche. We're going to talk first base tomorrow. More on that in a bit with Chris Snyder behind the plate. Well, Adam LaRoche. I know a first baseman up here who knows a little bit about the position. Adam, a developing first baseman as well, especially picking the baseball. He loves that position. How about you two guys get together at the first sack and talk a little first base tomorrow?
I think that's a great idea.
You're all in?
All in.
That'll be good stuff. Gabby Sanchez, fly ball right field. He's another first baseman, Gracie and folks, who is having a fabulous year as we take a look at Rodrigo Lopez, 34-year-old right-hander, 18th start of the year. He pitched in just an ugly game. The UPS store delivers these numbers. There were 6 errors in the game. You almost want to flush it. It was against the Dodgers because previous to that, he beat Tampa Bay and he beat the New York Yankees.
He was fabulous in those 2 starts, and then unfortunately, it all came unraveled against the Dodgers his last start. But you're going to have 1 or 2 of those where you just don't get much help behind you. But he's got the ability to wash it right away, and in 3 pitches, he's gotten 2 outs.
Strike thrower, Hanley Ramirez takes a strike over the outside corner. 0-1 the count. 13 home runs, 53 batted in for Ramirez.
He hardly had time to put down his sign before he had to get in the box.
How about that? 0-1 the count. Changeup over the outside. Solid pitch there. 0-2 the count to Hanley Ramirez. Well, the last time we saw these Florida Marlins, there was a run-in between the skipper, Freddie Gonzalez, and the shortstop, Hanley Ramirez. Freddie Gonzalez doesn't work for the Florida Marlins anymore. And you can read into it whatever you want. But initially, before he came around, a couple of days came and went. Initially very disrespectful to Freddie and the discipline that came his way as he was benched in the game. Then he came around. You guys like Andre Dawson calling you out publicly and closing the door and speaking with you. As that one is fouled off, and to the backstop it goes. And I guess the other part of it, Gracie, I'd love to know your thoughts. In no part in this 4-game series do I want to demean or make it seem like Edwin Rodriguez doesn't deserve this opportunity. We just cared about Freddie Gonzalez and thought he was a good manager.
That's great to hear. That is great to hear. Because he is a good man, and he was a good manager.
Popped up
and he will be again somewhere else.
And that's the thing. And when we speak about Freddie, to me it's all due respect to Edwin Rodriguez. I mean, he's down there. He was in a situation like we've heard Kirk Gibson talk about. Gibby's made it clear when people say, hey, congratulations for this chance. He says, congratulate me next year if I'm still the manager. Then I will accept your congratulations. The 1-2. Off the end of the bat, fly ball center field. Rodrigo Lopez sits him down. 1, 2, 3. Again, Honeyball Sanchez and the Florida Marlins. Let's take a look at Gibby's starting lineup. As brought to you by our good friends and partners with Southwest Airlines. Drew moves to lead off tonight with C.Y. sitting. Kelly Johnson bats second. Justin Upton batting third. LaRoche, Reynolds, Gerardo Parra, Chris Snyder, Cole Gillespie, Rodrigo Lopez. And this young right-hander made history back in 2006 in September. when he threw a no-hitter at the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's having a good year. Right-hander Anibal Sanchez, 26 years old, out of Maracay in Venezuela, as he makes his 17th start of the season. The fastball is away. 1-0 the count to Stephen Drew. Tell us about the stuff of Mr. Sanchez, Gracie.
Well, he's got a fastball that moves. He likes to pitch in and out. And that's about tops right there. 90, 91. He's got a good breaking ball, changeup. He's got all the pitches. Tries to get you to hit the ball on the ground.
Pulled the string. There's the changeup. An effective pitch to lefties. 1-2 the count. His last time out, he was beaten up by the surprising, I think, if you were to include preseason thoughts, the fabulous Atlanta Braves. Now he beat 4-1. Bobby Cox's bunch did, as that one is low. He gave up 4 runs in 6 innings, 108 pitches.
All those runs came in 1 inning, the 4th inning. The other 5, he was pretty good, Darren.
Hot shot, base hit, right center field. Stephen Drew hustling on around, is at 3. He touches second. He's on to third. A triple sliding for Stephen Drew. Right off the bat, I looked to my right. You saw immediately that it was 3 bags.
Well, usually when Stephen Drew hits a ball into the right center gap, you can pretty much mail 3 bags in. He splits the gap with that line shot. Never even thought about staying at second. And into third with no throw.
7th triple of the season. This is a club that hits at home. They really do. They have struggled mightily on the road. They're not having a solid homestand, though, but overall this year, they love this ballpark.
Yeah, the at-bats and the runs are plentiful here.
Fouled off.
But the offense just hasn't traveled well this year.
57 home runs here at home. 5.3 runs per game. That's what we're talking about. Look at that in their National League ranks. A lot of extra base hits. Good fastball in. Solid on base percentage. Again, it's not the same on the road, and on this homestand, they have had their struggles as well. Even with the bag at third, as that one is inside. Jorge Cantu. Otherwise, just about straight up for Kelly Johnson. 14 homers, 40 batted in. 2-2. Ran that slider in. 3-2 the count. He does a nice job, which means he can command his changeup because that's the equalizer for lefties. Lefties hit 247 against him this year. Righties, 283. Ground ball to the right side. There's an RBI for Kelly Johnson.
That's all it takes. Just a little lousy ground ball to the second baseman. And that's his 41st RBI of the year. Yeah, the batting average will come down, but that RBI will stay there for the rest of his life. That's good 2-strike hitting right there. 1-0 D-backs.
Drew scores. He has 30 triples since the start of the 08 season. That's number 1 in Major League Baseball. One more than Shane Victorino, who's number 2. Justin, fly ball, right field. Stanton, the young rookie, puts that one away. Justin goes after the first pitch. 14 home runs, 40 batted in. We'll see him again soon. Now, Adam LaRoche. Adam at 251. 13 long balls, 54 batted in.
Anibal Sanchez missed about half the season last year with injuries. He's been perfectly healthy this year, and he's been pretty good. He's kind of the number 2 in the 1-2 punch of Josh Johnson and Anibal Sanchez. How good is Josh Johnson? Better than Ubaldo Jimenez, I can tell you right now.
He's having an incredible year. Jimenez not far behind in the 2.
And I don't want to disrespect Ubaldo.
No, he won again today. Fly ball center field. The Diamondbacks strike triple and a productive out. To you by Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. Salt in theaters July 23rd. Jorge Cantu to lead it off against, oh, look at that, play baseball. Well, Michael Jordan played professional baseball. Why not?
Wanted to see what a real athlete was like.
Jorge Cantu digs in. First pitch swinging. Fouls it off. Slow curveball. 0-1 the count.
These Marlins have come out hacking, haven't they?
Our Amica Insurance hit zone. And you can see that throw one right down the middle. He just might get a hit.
It's kind of the story with about every big leaguer, isn't it?
Yeah, you bet. That spot, too, where he went painting is a hot spot for him as well. Belt high away. 10 home runs, 50 RBIs for Cantu. Outside as he rushes that one up there. Cantu had a huge series when the Diamondbacks stopped by to South Florida earlier this year. He was 5 of 8 with an RBI. As that one has popped up. And it's dropped down below, as you can see. It's just a little slider at the belt.
I hate to say it, but legitimately another terrible effort over there by our friend Steve Gilbert.
Oh, my goodness. Didn't mean to, but he rolls it fair. And the play is made.
Couple of Mexican stars going at it, Rodrigo Lopez and Jorge Cantu. Yeah, that foul ball prior. Legitimately just a brutal effort by Steve Gilbert, allowing it to fall down into the lower bowl.
Well, he's a great writer on MLB.com, DBacks.com, but he is just a terrible, terrible athlete. So
I have him on my fantasy camp every year on my team.
Horrible.
I have to bat him last and play him in right field for 2 innings.
Over the inside, didn't get the call. That's a shame. That's a real shame. Look at him. How did he? The 1-0 is outside. And so the count 2-0. We always recommend that you read his stuff. He does a great job. You know, right after you stop off at FoxSportsArizona.com, then go to MLB.com.
No, good breaking ball there. He writes about baseball very well. He just plays it horribly.
Two and one the count to Dan Uggla. Former Diamondback, Rule 5 selection. Fly ball left. That was just a An ugly little changeup that stayed up and in. It still worked, though.
Well, don't miss 80s night at Chase Field this Saturday. That's 2 days, Darren. Catch the game at Studio 944, a club-themed mixer at the Miller Lite Diamond Club. Call 602-462-4794. Visit dbacks.com/Studio944 for tickets. I'm going to be out there for a mixer. I love a good mixer.
Ross.
Boy, look at these boys hacking.
First pitch swinging, pops it up. 19 pitches in the ball game for Lopez so far, and he has been just fine. 6 up, 6 down for the veteran right-hander.
Leading off for the D-backs, third baseman, number 27, Paul Reynolds.
1-0 the score. Of course, 80s night coming up this Saturday night, as we've mentioned. We're going to take a look back at a lot of 80s baseball here on Fox Sports Arizona. Some fine memories. And while you were watching baseball on TV, you were also watching some of your favorite shows. Text to 36929, A, B, C, or D. Your favorite show in the 80s. Miami Vice, Cheers, The Cosby Show, L.A. Law. So Miami Vice, Cheers, The Cosby Show, or L.A. Law, most iconic 80s TV series. Yeah, as that one is low, 1-1 the count to Mark Reynolds. "19 home runs, 54 batted in as Mark skies that one to left field. His last 9 games have been pretty good stuff. Rolled his ankle twice last night. He's ready to roll today. Mark in his last 9 games is hitting .290, but 6 walks, a .405 on base percentage, 9 strikeouts. For some, maybe a disconcerting total. Not for Mark. So it's a work in progress for Mark Reynolds. Here's Gerardo Parra.
What was your iconic 80s sitcom?
If I'm to pick my own, I might pick my own, but I really liked, as that one is fouled off, I really liked The Cosby Show in the 80s.
Did you?
Absolutely. Couldn't go wrong there, and Cheers. But I'm going to say, out of that group, The Cosby Show.
I have to go with... Is that ripped into center?
It's a base hit for Gerardo Parra. Takes a good hard turn, so Parra, this is that average up from .258.
I like Family Ties, Eve.
It's a great show.
I love that movie. Show. Well,
Family Ties, a good show. Parra, a .300 hitter now in his career against the Marlins. Here's Chris Snyder. Snyder just 5 at-bats in this homestand, 1 of 5. It has been...
He was hitting in the 4-hole.
He hit a couple of nights ago in the 4-hole as the pitch is low. It's been Miguel Montero's world, but he can't play every day. Gibson seeing what he has tonight with Chris Snyder. 9 home runs, 28 RBIs. .271 career hitter with 4 home runs against the Marlins. Well, that was close. Driving Parra back to the bag.
Pretty quick feet there by Sanchez. He got it over there quickly. He almost got Parra. That was close. Right there on. Good friend of the show, first base umpire Rob Drake. Remember we gave him player of the game.
That's right. He took
down
one
in Florida
square off the leg,
a couple
didn't
of
he?
years ago. Yeah, right in the knee. Good man. Spent some time in the tunnel with him last trip in.
Hot shot. Runner was going. The runner was on the move there in Parra. Straight hit and run there, Gracie, you think?
I think so, absolutely. Parra not a guy that really steals bases. He got a good jump. Fastball was inside. Snyder got the head out and laced it foul.
So out with a quick visit from behind home plate. Brett Hayes, the catcher. There's
man.
family ties.
Alex P. Keaton.
And who didn't have a crush on Justine Bateman?
She's still hot.
Is she?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen her recently. The 1-1 into the dirt. It's blocked up. See your brother all the time.
Yeah,
He's got an exploding acting career again.
He is red hot. Jason's a good man.
The 2-1. 2-2 the count.
Well, that was a big rip of a fastball down the middle. Came up empty. Let's see if that big rip, if he keeps his eyes on the ball. Tough to tell.
Marlins coming into play today, 40-44. Just got back in time, popped that one on his back.
Parra has a very big lead.
And since he's not a base stealer, leads you to believe the hit and run on again.
Well, it's tough to put a hit and run on with 2 strikes. That's forcing swing. That may be something out of the strike zone. He shortened it up a little bit there. Timeout. Going to shake some of the dirt out of his britches.
Cole Gillespie waits on deck. Diamondbacks lead it 1-0. Right off the mask of Hayes, knocks it around behind home plate.
Well, this he took this one right square in the kisser. Bang! Ouch. He's got the old school mask and helmet. He doesn't have that newfangled hockey mask.
2-2 the count. We haven't quite seen as many of those lately. I know that those masks, as that one sails high, have been unfortunately tied to some of the guys who have had concussions.
Mike Matheny is one of them.
Just
our friend Joe West out at second base tonight will swear till the day is long that the old school mask protects you and protects your head and your concussion syndrome a lot better than the hockey style mask.
Runner goes. As you said, forcing a swing. Love to see the location of that pitch if in fact he went after one that is low and out of the zone. So back to the bag he goes. Let's see. That's a strike. Here's Cole Gillespie. home run, 4 RBIs, and 54 at-bats for Gillespie. 15 hits, 5 of his hits doubles. Gillespie made that incredible play in left field the other night. He was talking about it yesterday. He said, I was off by just a step, so I had to save my own bacon. I got just a bit of a step late break on it. I don't see many plays better than diving away from home plate.
He didn't look a step off. He looked like he was right on the button.
Don't forget, anytime the D-backs score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the next day. See if we can get a hit, clear the pitcher here. Bouncing ball out to third, keeps it with it. Goes off the mark. Rodrigo Lopez will hit. Gillespie reaches out. Imagine that'll be an error on Jorge Cantu.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. Got an in-between hop. Couldn't come up with it. And then way wide with the throw. And Rodrigo Lopez will get an opportunity here with 2 outs. But as you said, clear the pitcher. And even if Rodrigo can't come up with a base hit here to drive in a run, next inning we'll start with Stephen Drew.
Infield stays about straight up. Outfield comes in a few steps the other way. Rodrigo, 3 of 34 on the year as he swings right through that one.
Rodrigo with a big old rip. What's going on out there, Darren? What'd you do to these guys before the game?
They're ready to roll, my friend.
You got these boys hacking. Did you have a little meeting with the guys before the game?
No. Just chatted them up a little bit.
Get up there and swing it hard.
They know good things are tied to a long ball, Gracie, because every time a D-back hits a home run this season, Fulton Homes donates $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association.
So you're saying Rodrigo's going deep here, huh?
Well, I'd love it.
Timing is everything, Darren. You've always had impeccable timing.
That pitch is low. 2-1 the count with Stephen Drew waiting on deck. Right at the half strikeout rate. 34 at-bats, 17 strikeouts. So I don't know where to go with him. You know my rule. If you strike out less than half the time if you're a pitcher, occasionally you'll run into one.
Oh, there's a home run cut again there. As Harry Carey would have said, he was going for the downs. Big, mighty rip at it. And about a day and a half late.
2-2 the count. Off the plate, tips it into the catcher's mitt. He is done. A couple of base runners. We played 2, 1-0. Arizona leads it over Florida. side of the box. What a memory. Alex Cintrone. Home runs from both sides of the plate. On this date in 2004, one from the left, one from the right. I know a fan favorite. Many Diamondbacks fans. Look at that smile. Hit that one over Lucille, the fine mascot for the Giants.
Well, anytime we can get Alex Cintrone highlights, that makes it a big league show.
Really channeling some positive energy
What's going
over
on
there. Rodrigo Lopez ready to go to work. Youngster Mike Statton, second round pick in 07 out of Southern California's Notre Dame High School. Big fella, 6'5".
Huge fella.
240 pounds. Holds up that back leg and the pitch just off the plate. Did a unique homer yesterday for his fourth big league homer in Dodger Stadium. Set up and over the wall and left into the bullpen, into the ball bag. Right into a catcher's mitt. Shot left field, Stanton. It gets by the left fielder Park. Now that's incredible. How hard did he hit that baseball?
Scary hard.
Think about that, Gracie. That was a line drive in the hole. And the left fielder dove for it.
The left fielder that was playing him to pull. That's how hard this ball was hit. My goodness, don't get hurt, Mark Reynolds. Great effort there from Parra, but it, golly. That wasn't down the line either.
No. It didn't even go into the triangle.
The proverbial corner, right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Stanton down in Double-A before he was called up, hitting .313, and then led the Southern League in just about every other offensive category. He was fifth in batting average. Brett Hayes, the catcher. Breaking ball popped up. Stanton's on base in the Southern League, .442. His slugging percentage was .729, and he had 21 home runs in 53 games. By the way, in the Southern League, when he slugged .729, he was number one. Number two, young man Tim Torres, number two at .498.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, time for that kid to come up and pick on the big leaguers.
This is his long ball last night at Dodger Stadium. This is what we're talking about. A little fun with this one.
A baseball hole in one. Right into the catcher's mitt. That's classic.
And a Southern California boy to boot. So that's his ballpark growing up as a fan, Dodger Stadium. Well, what a piece of hitting. Choke and poke on a breaking ball. They will stop the runner at third.
Yeah, I think Rodrigo will be a little disappointed in that 0-2 pitch. Blew two fastballs right by him, then threw him something he could handle, a breaking ball that he could put in play. And a nice job of hitting right there by young Hayes.
Anibal Sanchez, 5 for 25 this year with 4 walks. You see the young man with the bolt up from Double-A, Mike Stanton, with those huge numbers. He's already a big prospect, but as you said, he forced their hand. Squaring to move the runner up. And the pitch is a strike, 0-1 the count.
Looks like they're just playing this as a straight sacrifice. They're not going to do the safety squeeze like Lou Piniella did with Ryan Dempster yesterday afternoon. Boy, what a great play that was.
Gutsy with the bases loaded.
It was.
It's just a force out at the plate.
You know, Lou's looking for ways to score runs, so he just went with the safety squeeze.
That one is fouled off of the plate. 0-2 the count. And a chance to say goodbye to Lou on his way out of town. He
Did you go down and say goodbye?
did, and he said, Scott Snyder and I went down, our fine booth manager up here, and he said, not for nothing. Kind of looking forward to beating the Dodgers.
Really?
Absolutely.
I think everybody looks forward to beating the Dodgers, don't you?
I think so. That one is high. 1-2 the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. I pull for every Cub to beat the Dodgers, but Aramis Ramirez.
Well, you really have had a burr in your saddle about Aramis Ramirez, haven't you? Boy, what a great series he had out here. Stuck in your craw a little bit, didn't it?
Absolutely. 1-2 the count.
Diving for balls, going hard down the line. Man, he was fun to watch.
No, he hit homers. Let's not stretch it. 1-2 the count. Runners on first and third. Just a little bluff, nothing doing. When Mike Berger comes in, the Diamondbacks Director of Player Development, and talks minor league baseball, I'll be curious to hear his thoughts on how regular it is for a player to move from Double-A, as Stanton did, to the major leagues. Barry Enright doing it for the Diamondbacks. Breaking ball, that's strike 3. That'll help. That'll help a lot.
A lot of organizations now, Darren, are starting to stockpile prospects in Double-A and turning Triple-A into more the veteran minor leaguers are now playing in Triple-A. Not all organizations do it, but some are starting to go that route. Why? I don't know, but just that's something maybe we could ask Mike Berger.
I look forward to finding out about that and who he has in Double-A that we should keep an eye on. A good conversation here in a bit. Reynolds even with the bag at third, taking it the other way as Coughlin drives it to left field on a curveball. Parra is there, makes the play, the throws to second. Made it at least interesting with that rocket arm.
Well, that's some good base running, too, right there by the catcher, Hayes. He knew the whole time that was going to be a sac fly. Nice job by Coughlin getting the run in. But really an excellent job also by Hayes. Going back, tagging up. Understand that Parra has a terrific arm, but it took a perfect throw to get him. Now he's in scoring position. That's good stuff.
The little things that even the 8-hole hitter and the backup catcher can do, as that one is away. Again, a reminder, if you have a question, go to foxsportsarizona.com about the system. And a good man, a good baseball man, family baseball man, been around the game his whole life, played in the minor leagues forever. It's a chance to run these Diamondbacks minor leaguers. We'll ask him the question. Roller out to Mark Reynolds at third. Off balance throw, but in time for the out. We're tied at 1 after 2.5.
Welcome back. And Darren, you've been asking me for a long time, what is Kachinko? Find out and learn how you can play right here at Chase Field by going to the interactive kiosk near Section 111 during Arizona Diamondback regular season home games. You can find out. You've been asking all year long about Kachiko. It's a cool game. It's right out there, just left of center field.
Yeah, and that's a great read, by the way. You really, I think, had people wondering what it was. And that's what that read is for. That's a great job.
Thank you.
Stephen Drew goes to work.
I owe the good people that sponsor Kachinko a good read.
Gila River Casino. Absolutely. He was not given time. He wanted time.
Dan Bellino, the home plate umpire, said, no. You can call timeout all you want, but the umpire doesn't have to give it to you.
He takes a pitch, low and in, 1-2 the count. To be fair to Bellino, that was a pretty late ask. Into the dirt. Drew frustrated. He chases a changeup that bounces off of home plate.
I'll tell you what, enough Diamondbacks get frustrated, we might see a Donnybrook.
I've been looking for one of those for a while. Kelly Johnson now. Kelly, after Drew's triple back in the first inning, grounded out but picked up his 41st RBI of the year. Oh, 1 the count to the Diamondbacks second baseman. We were talking about Sanchez. His first year in the big leagues was 2006, the year that he twirled that gem, that no-hitter at Arizona. And that game was in South Florida, if you folks remember. He walked 4. It was a 2-0 Florida win. But hasn't had a complete season since. Boy, good pitch, just missed. That year made 17 starts. The next year 6 starts. The next year 10, and then last year 16. Third ball is chopped foul. You might remember the move back in 2005 that brought Sanchez, Jesus Delgado, Henry Garcia, and Hanley Ramirez from Boston. Josh Beckett, Mike Lowell, Guillermo Mota went the other way. Roller, and to kind of give it a double step there. He backed off. Ramirez did the same. Still don't know if either one would have had the play, but Cantu changed his mind for a moment on that one.
Just a strangely hit baseball. Kind of corkscrews out there to the left side. At the end of the day, that's a base knock.
You bet. So Justin digs in. Adam LaRoche on deck. Justin went after the first pitch, so hasn't seen much of Sanchez. Besides what his teammates tell him, as that breaking ball is strike 1. We caught a moment earlier, by the way, speaking of teammates, after Drew tripled and then came around to score, when he gave what you like to call the scouting report. Not anything on video, not anything on a laptop. As that one is up and away. He gave the scouting report to Adam LaRoche on Anibal Sanchez.
Just the old-fashioned way. What's he got? Well, his fastball's he'll be moving away from you a little bit. Threw me a couple sliders. He's still not happy at all with the way things went in his at-bat. The call of timeout that wasn't.
And I actually, again, understand that one from Bellino. This is what we're talking about, Gracie.
Yeah. Back in the days before video and when I was a younger player. And that's great of Stephen Drew, instead of going in and, oh dear.
Upton to left field.
He missed it.
Got it off the end of the bat. Ended up knuckling on him. So Upton is erased. Continue your thought, though.
But back before the days of video and whatnot, that was your scouting report. What's he throwing? Well, his fastball's, it's getting on you pretty good, and it's tailing away. How's the breaking ball? Well, I didn't see one yet. Okay, well, I'll let you know when I come back. I'll try to take as many as I can, see if I can catch his breaking ball.
The interesting thing about Drew is that conversation, though he was frustrated in the last at bat. He is kind of a guy that, especially this year, has left all of that in the rearview mirror. He's kind of, for a new age baseball player, gone back in time. He's not a guy who's settling in front of the computers for days and hours on end. He's not a guy who's going over all the reports and just time and time again what he will throw in a certain count. He's kind of feeling for it right now. And he started that, Gracie, at the beginning of the year. He's more of the scouting reports that you saw with Ian LaRoche. That's what he's living by right now.
That's exactly right. You know, the scouting report, just because Anibal Sanchez's last game was against the Atlanta Braves, and the scouting report is, well, he got hit hard. He gave up 4 runs in 6 innings. The reality of it was he really didn't get hit all that hard. He had 1 inning where a few balls found holes. He gave up 4 runs. The other five innings, he gave up 1 hit in those other 5 innings. So those scouting reports don't always tell you the whole story.
I think it's a wonderful combination as a player that you have to seek what fits you best. And especially new players and players that are in their 20s right now with so much readily available. I like Stephen Drew. The way he is approaching things would have been fine 30 years ago with the way he's approaching things right now.
And the reason Adam LaRoche is asking Stephen Drew is because they're both left-handed hitters. So Sanchez is going to pitch LaRoche and Drew a lot more similar than he's going to pitch Mark Reynolds and Justin Upton. He's going to use his breaking ball more against those guys, whereas he might use his changeup more against lefties. That's just the way right-handers are.
Well, and the more this squad talks, and not just talks, they get along just fine. But the more they talk baseball, the better. And I think their skipper is just fine with that kind of scouting report.
Talk to each other, exactly. Go ahead and put the cell phone down and talk a little ball in there.
The 1-2. Bouncing ball, and it's a foul ball. It rattles around.
See, I was very lucky until my last couple of years in the big leagues. Those are the days before cell phones. So you just got to the ballpark, and however many tickets you had to leave at 9 o'clock that morning, that's how many you left. You didn't have to worry about late phone ins. Hey, can you leave me 3?
It actually sounds like a pretty good thing.
Yeah, it's fabulous. You just got locked in on baseball.
You mean you were stuck in your locker room without a cell phone and the wireless internet? You couldn't surf the web?
Couldn't surf the web.
You had to talk to your teammates?
You actually had to talk to your teammates and maybe talk about how to defend Darryl Strawberry, or maybe what you're going to do with Howard Johnson.
The 1-2. LaRoche drives it into right field. It's down for a hit. Stanton's there to play. Hits the cutoff man. Runners on first and third for Arizona with 2 outs in front of Mark Reynolds.
That was a very good at-bat by LaRoche. Finally got something he can handle. Drilled it out to right field. Stanton got it in, but Kelly Johnson motoring all the way over to third base. Stephen Drew. Yeah, see, I told you that's what he's going to throw.
If I just could have gotten that timeout granted, I'd have gotten a chance to get a hit.
Yeah, it looked like that timeout the non-timeout got under his skin. And Sanchez got Drew to chase something out of the zone. I'm sure Stephen's still frustrated about that.
2 outs. Mark Reynolds, strike 1, 0-1 the count. A slider there. Since 2007, and remember, Mark came up in 07 in May. Mark has 100 home runs. As a third baseman, only Alex Rodriguez with more in the majors. That pitch is high, kind of a hovercraft slider. Behind him on the list of A-Rod, Reynolds, home run since 07 for third baseman. David Wright, Brian Zimmerman, good friend of the show, Ramos Ramirez. 5th.
Very good friend of the show.
The 1-1. Broke his bat, popped it up, left field. like the play is called. A couple of base runners stranded. I'm glad to have you with us on this Thursday night at the ballpark. Our AT&T trivia question reads, name the highest rated TV sitcom of the 1980s. Of course, looking ahead to 80s night.
Had to be Cosby, didn't it?
Maybe so.
Yeah. Wow, probably the easiest question all year long. What is 1 + 1? We got to get another question, something much more challenging than that.
Well, we'll have one of those tomorrow. The first pitch to Ramirez is a ground ball. Charging, gobbling. Reynolds got him. Nice play for the Diamondbacks' third baseman again. What a year he has had defensively, improving steadily.
Had to go a long way. Ramirez can fly. Just ahead of it. Good call over there by Rob Drake. Just ahead of Hanley Ramirez. Almost called him a Ramos.
Here's Jorge Cantu. He hustled that time. He was sniffing out a base hit. Reynolds, the way he angled towards that baseball, had to use the glove and involve the glove in the play. So there's one extra big step. Not only are you charging, Mark makes that barehanded play so well. Even in his struggling defensive early years, he still made that barehanded play right up there with anybody. But using the glove and the transfer, boy, nobody bounces back from injuries. You can clearly see. It's not as if you hear of a tweaked hamstring with Mark Reynolds, and boy, it's great he's out there. That's a shot. You see him dive face first onto concrete in ballparks. You see him collide with pitchers in Philadelphia a couple of years back in the big leagues.
Oh, he's a dirty uniform.
You see him roll his ankle, and yet he still seems to play every day.
And you never hear him complain about, and he doesn't want you or I up here telling our watchers or our viewers and listeners that he's playing hurt. He wants none of that. All those are excuses.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephen Drew in time for the out. He doesn't want any excuses. Reynolds twice yesterday rolled his ankle.
Second baseman,
golly. And then rolled it there again. He doesn't want excuses.
I don't need a day off. No. I don't need a day off.
I don't remember, Gracie, who he collided with in Philadelphia in his rookie year of 07. It was a pitcher.
Was it Philadelphia?
In Philadelphia.
I can tell you exactly who it was.
And he got knocked hard to the ground.
Brandon Metters.
Yes.
It was Brandon Metters. I remember telling Mark Reynolds at the time that I was worried he had a suspect chin.
Outballed his door.
He's proven his toughness more than enough. for any of us. You go ahead, son. What a terrible, easy question.
1-1 is our score. Bottom of the fourth inning. Our answer to the AT&T trivia question: The Cosby Show, the highest-rated sitcom of the 1980s.
What?
So we move along.
That was a barn burner.
Gerardo Parra takes a slow curveball for strike one. Don't forget to vote 36929 A, B, C, or D. The 0-1. That one sails up and into the backstop it goes.
Oh, come on, cheers, folks. Come on, cheers, folks. Cosby Show was awesome. Gotta admit. Like cheers better, though.
The 1-1. He has thrown him 3 breaking balls. A couple of sliders and a curveball. 2-1 the count.
Night Court. Did you like Night Court?
It was all right. I did. Good characters.
Marky Post, extremely hot.
The 2-1. Fastball. There you go. He's thrown him a fastball now.
Bull. Remember Bull? On Night Court?
The big guy.
Yeah.
Fouls it off. We'll do it one more time. 2-2 the count to Gerardo Parra.
Bailiff. Bull.
That's right. He was the bailiff.
He was big league.
Infield, outfield, straight up. That one bounces in there. Now he goes back to the soft stuff. Anibal Sanchez.
Nice job of laying off this one by Gerardo Parra. Let's see if he gets a fastball here, leading off the fourth inning on a 3-2 count.
Singled back in the second inning. Left the slider up, tried to backhand it. Couldn't make the play over there at first. Gabby Sanchez comes up empty.
I think that'll go as another base hit for Gerardo Parra, his second of the night. And the Diamondbacks off to a good start here and there into the fourth. Tough in between hop to the backhand side.
So Parra is on. Snyder now. He flied to second. Center, I should say, back in the second. 1-1 our score. 0-1 the count to Chris Snyder. Now they had the man on the move and Snyder swinging with a couple of strikes back in his last at bat. The 0-1 is outside. 1-1 the count.
I think Kirk Gibson, he was in charge of the running game back when he was the bench coach. He loves the running game, loves to put runners in motion, loves to put pressure on the opposing defenses. Just has to pick the right spots and have the right personnel in those situations. Snyder handles the bat well enough, but plenty well enough to put hit and runs on or whatever needs to be done.
And I think for Chris, too, any assignments like this are a welcome breath of fresh air. First of all, being in the lineup's a welcome breath of fresh air, but not batting eighth, too. You just don't have as much action with the pitcher hitting behind you.
Well, you know, and also, unfortunately, unfairly in this game, you get labeled. You get labeled as a number 8 hitter. And a lot of catchers, unless you're a Mike Piazza or unless you're just a big-time offensive catcher, they stick you in the 8 hole. Sean Dunston was that guy for the Cubs for many years.
I never knew that.
A good hitter. A good hitter. But with Dawson, Sandberg, Sammy Sosa, myself, George Bell. There was Steve Buechele. Rick Wilkins, a catcher, hit 7th. He hit 30 home runs one year. Unfortunately for Sean, he was the guy that hit 8th. And he got labeled as that guy, and he unfortunately paid a pretty severe price on his batting average.
3-2 the count.
Got to send the runner here, don't you?
Yes. Cole Gillespie bats in that 8 slot. We can't talk enough, and I know I go on and on about it up here as a play-by-play man, how tough it is to hit 8th. What a challenging spot it is. Of course, only in the National League with a pitcher hitting behind you. For me, all the things you've been taught, all the things about plate discipline, situational hitting, you add an entire wrinkle to it when you bat 8th.
Nice at bat there by Snyder.
Well, the one thing Chris has done, he's walked. I mean, he's hitting just .237. And his on-base percentage much higher than that. He's got 32 walks now.
Fastball runs inside by plenty. Now the bottom part of the order doing their job. Number 6 hitter Parr, base hit. Number 7 hitter Snyder moves them on up with a walk. Now it's decision time. Do you maybe try to put the runners in motion and trust Cole Gillespie to put the ball in play? Back-to-back 3-2 counts with Anibal Sanchez tells me that his command right now is a little bit iffy. So I think you just kind of let Cole Gillespie pick out his pitch and trust him that if he gets something, he can whack it down the line for a double.
We'll keep an eye on that. They'll play behind Snyder at first, bunch to the middle of the infield, and Gillespie, as you said, takes a pitch away, 1-0 the count. And Williams walks up close to Chris Snyder. You see him there in your shot. A few pieces of wisdom, and then he backs right off. They want a ground ball. They get a ground ball. It's a fair ball, and it'll drive in at least one. It rolls all the way toward the corner on a backhand that is grabbed out there. Come on down, says Youngblood. The relay to the plate. Snyder bangs in there. He is safe. The ball had already gotten away from Hayes. You let him do his thing, as you said, and that pays dividends.
And he might pick out a pitch and hit a double down the line, and that's exactly what happened right there. He got the pitch he wanted, pulled it right over the bag at third base. And the Diamondbacks looking to have a big inning now. Sinker down, pulls it past a diving Jorge Cantu. And now start the windmill, Joel Youngblood. Snyder bangs into Hayes, the catcher. And on the throw, nice job of base running by Cole Gillespie. Just continued on to third base. Now we got a meeting on the mound right now. Randy St. Clair, the pitching coach for the Florida Marlins, having a conversation with Anibal Sanchez. We'll break that up. Now, with nobody out, they're going to have to bring the infield in, as that is the Florida Marlins, to try to cut this run off. But now, even if you don't get the run in here, you've got Stephen Drew with an opportunity to drive in a run with an out.
3-1 the score. Arizona leads it. 0-1 the count, runs the fastball in at his kneecaps.
Kind of an uncomfortable swing right there by Rodrigo.
It was. That it was. Punches it to the right side. And in time for the out, just trying to drop down a bunt, making him make a play on it.
Safety squeeze.
That's exactly
Saw
what it
it work
was.
yesterday for the Cubs. They tried to do it again here. Not a bad bunt either right there. If he could have pushed that just a little bit firmer. But I think it's the right idea by staying put, because you've got Stephen Drew now coming up. I think what that also, go ahead, Darren. I'm sorry.
That video just, Gracie, and you're right. This is what makes it great to me. That video told a story. Do you see the indecisiveness of Sanchez? He had to turn and do like 3 things before he threw that ball. Sorry to jump in on you.
It's quite all right.
That's why you drop that down. Infield in, strike one.
I was putting myself into the base runner's position, and that is Cole Gillespie. Unless it's just something that gets by the pitcher and you just know, go ahead and stay at third and just trust Stephen Drew, your leadoff hitter, to take care of business. Oh, dear.
In on his knuckles again. Not an easy play. Everybody's safe. They don't plate the run. Very similar. 2 plays in a row, though this was a full swing by Drew.
Oh, dear. Well, when you get the pitcher involved in fielding, especially when you get to barehanded and you can run like Stephen Drew, good things can happen, and that'll go as an error on Anibal Sanchez. Now a big chance for the Diamondbacks to have a much bigger inning. Kelly Johnson with an opportunity.
Fastball popped up. That's a souvenir. In the second deck of seats here at Chase Field. Mark McClune, Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton. Trust you're having a good night and having a good week as you near the weekend. Thanks for joining us tonight. Director of Player Development Mike Berger will join us here after the commercial break. What's going on in the minor leagues, we'll find out. I can speak to the minor leagues, by the way. He played for 10 years in the minor leagues. With the dream of getting there, and never did. Now he sends them there, or so he hopes. The 0-1. Drive to right field. Going back Stanton to the wall. It bangs with the gate going open up against that wall. Couple of runners on around. Kelly Johnson into third. 2 across the plate. Johnson nearly got it out of here. Stanton looks like he is all right. 5-1 the score.
The gate's not all right. Stanton is. That's a big man banging into that wall out in right field. Kelly Johnson, his 3rd RBI of the evening. And the Diamondbacks indeed are having a big inning. Look out, fence. That's a whole lot of, whoa, look out, bullpen guys. That's a whole lot of manhood coming your way. Look out. Bam. Holy smokes. Let's hope he's okay. I don't think he is okay. Oh, my goodness. That's a first.
Stanton's all right. As you're talking about the relief pitcher, we couldn't tell who that was that was knocked down. Is that their closer, Nunez?
I think it is.
Looks like him, at least body type like him.
It's tough to tell.
Leo Nunez, their closer. Leo Nunez. Ends up he's limping on a
on a knee or an ankle. Justin Upton, base hit left field. That slider was up in the zone. Upton turns it on around. Another run for the Diamondbacks. And that's 6, and we've got tacos.
Oh, baby. You like them soft or crunchy there, Darren?
I like the crunchy tacos.
As do I. I like the crunchy ones just as long as they don't have arms. Been a while since we could say that.
You're here.
Breaking ball drilled. Boy, the Diamondbacks really taking advantage of some opportunities that the Marlins have given them here. A big error by the pitcher, Anibal Sanchez, and now a 5 spot on the board for these D-backs.
For the Marlins, a run on 2 hits, 2 errors. For the Diamondbacks, 6 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Adam LaRoche takes that one out of the catcher's mitt, a little bit late on it. So for Upton, 41 RBIs, 23-1 these Diamondbacks have been scoring 6 or more this season. A little number. 1, 2. Big inning. They score 5. 6-1 the score. Mike Berger will join us here right around the corner. Young men trying to climb the system for the Diamondbacks.
Look out!
Glad to have you back at the ballpark. Our Director of Player Development, Mike Berger, joins us up here in the broadcast booth. Bergs, thanks for coming up, my friend.
Thanks for having me. Both
this
of
is
you.
a real
Appreciate
treat.
it very much.
How are you, brother?
Good to get out of the office.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of your guys come along quickly, and I want to start you with a simple and an easy one, and one that you and I talked about the other day. What does it mean for a group that's in AA Mobile? They open up their laptops, they're watching from afar as their teammate, Barry Enright, pitches in the big leagues. How does that message go back and forth between the two?
It's what a self-starter. We had a rain out that night, too, and Enright was to have thrown that night in Mobile. And we're sitting around watching the raindrops come down, and in the trainer's room have the Ryan DePampholo's computer up, and it's a thrill. It's a thrill for the coaching staff. It's a thrill for myself, the farm director, and certainly for those players.
Well, we only know just from hearsay about the kid. What can you tell us a little more that maybe some of the fans that we haven't told about him?
Model citizen number one. He watched Romer go to AAA. He watched Matt Torra go to AAA ahead of him. Never said a word. Just went out every fifth day, did his job. The 4 days in between, went out and prepared. Just a tremendous guy with good stuff and belongs here.
Cody Ross rolls that. Before we talk about all the kids, Tell us about you. You've spent just about your entire life, whether it was as a young man, growing up in the game with your dad, and then you played for 10 years, never got that cup of coffee you dreamed about, but you've been in the game your whole life. Tell us a little bit about your history.
Well, 13 years in the minor leagues, and as I mentioned to Bugsy when I took this job and had his AAA staff in Reno last year for the first time, had all the players assembled, I said, guys, tell you a little bit about myself. The only 2 leagues I didn't play in were the American League and the National League. But every other league in between, American Association, Penn League. Gracie, you and I crossed paths a couple years, and it's been a wonderful ride. You grew up in the same environment with a Hall of Fame father. To have grown up around the game, in Forbes Field, Three Rivers Stadium with my father, and to realize a dream being drafted at 17 and to where I'm at now, it's wonderful.
And you see the game from that history, but with the scout's eye, correct? Is that safe to say?
I think a little bit of both. I mean,
okay.
It's 15 years in scouting and now 17 years on the player development side. So I think I look at it through both lenses and have a real respect and appreciation for what both sides have to do in order to bring everything here at the big league level.
You've got a lot of old school in you, Mike, but also all the knowledge now that goes into scouting, all the video, all the statistics. Do you try to take a little bit of, a little salt here, a little pepper here, or do you stay mostly trust your heart back in the old days?
Truthfully, I try to keep it simple. I think that's what Mike Bell, our field coordinator, does. Jeff Pico, Dave Hansen, and all the the managers and coaches in our organization. We put the onus squarely on the player, and we remind the players, guys, this is about you. It's not about Mike Berger, but don't make it about Mike Berger either. The game is built around players. We don't ask much of the players other than the basic rules, that is show up on time and play hard.
We're going to get into some of Mike Berger's players.
That was a really quick inning.
I knew that Gracie would love talking about it. We'll get to know some of these kids. Mike stays with us. Well, we continue here in the big leagues, but talking about the minor leagues with Mike Berger, and we're going to put you right to work because I think a lot of our fans want to know about a young man. Let's start a high schooler from South Carolina. His name's Chris Owings. Tell us about it.
Advanced on both sides of the ball, natural power to right center field, even though he's a right-handed hitter.
It's hard to find.
Yeah, exactly. And, you look at him physically, and he invokes comparisons to that of Craig Biggio. Flat out play shortstop, plus arm, instinctive player at 18, 19 years of age. And when we get that foot back and ready to go, he's going to jump right back into that lineup.
That's a South Bend club, that Midwest League baseball club.
We've been hearing a lot about that club.
You've sent some guys out of there, though, up another level from there, haven't you?
Well, we took most of their pitching staff and ran it into Visalia, and I'm sure Mark Haley's not too pleased with that, but he certainly understands the process. You sat in on those meetings in spring training, and you heard, the discussions on Owings, on Borchering, on Helm, on Davidson, Anderson, Brewer, Belfiore. I mean, This is a star-studded club, and as an evaluator, when you go in there in April and you watch that starting rotation and you watch a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds, Keon Broxton in center field at 20, you come away really impressed.
All right, I'm going to throw a quick Keon at you. I'm sure we don't have a graphic for him, but he's a young man. If I were to look at his numbers and go on Baseball Reference, I wouldn't be blown away by his numbers. Out of the gates, tell me why Keon Broxton's a prospect for you.
Just as we discussed today, patience, patience, patience. It's in there. We saw it last year in Missoula. We certainly saw it in the Instructional League last year, as well as in spring training this year. He's leading off right now. It's his first time at a full season level. I have no concerns with him at all. He's going to figure it out. He has, again, power to all three fields. I think he leads the league with 11 triples. Just give him some time. He'll be fine. And a Gold Glove center field, too.
That's something. A lot of minor leaguers especially, it's okay, what do they do offensively? What do they do offensively? But a lot of times that ability to take away runs is overlooked. Yeah. Now, speaking of taking away runs, I love left-handed relievers. I know we got one down there, Leighton Septimo.
Septi. Something else. Three plus pitches.
We're going to see him soon, aren't we?
I would hope. But he's fine right now. Yeah, they're in a playoff race down there, and as you know, there's a lot of development involved in being in a playoff race with Rico Broni and that staff down there. I mean, they're in the heart of things in Mobile right now, and I believe that has a huge role in his development. But
look how happy he is.
Sure he is. He's in a playoff race. Look at him. Who can blame him? But, he's up to 94 with, at times, a wipeout breaking ball, a really good changeup, and he's really begun to come into his own, and he's doing a really good job down there.
That's awesome, because now that Jordan Noberto's up there, the only thing I love more than a lefty in the bullpen is two lefties in the bullpen.
I was warned about this before coming on.
Oh, yeah.
Pressure.
He loves his lefties in the. He wants them here now.
I had to face them my whole career. It's not easy facing those guys.
Let's go down a little bit lower. A young man out of Rhode Island. Who is Eric Smith, and why should we like him?
Bowling ball sinker, up to 92. Good secondary stuff. Gets the ball and goes. You'd love playing behind him, and just pounds that zone with a heavy sinker.
Base hit left field for Gerardo Parra. Picked on a breaking ball, stayed back nicely. This is Eric Smith.
I mean, there's a lot to like right here, and another individual who's matured so much in 1 year. I mean, he's comfortable on the mound now, and again, just attacks that zone. He's generally pitching ahead, but with a really heavy fastball.
All right, looks like
Darren, if you've got an ERA under 4 in A-ball, you're pretty good. You're doing awfully well.
All right, we're going to continue this conversation. Mike Berger joins us. Honeyball Sanchez is done. We'll reset. He is done. Rodrigo Lopez, the good news, 47 pitches. A different ball game for the Diamondbacks tonight. As we take a look at Brooke Badenhop, who goes to work the right-hander, the numbers for the lanky hurler. 16 times he's been on, ERA up and over 6. Chris Snyder, big fella, strides up to home plate. We're joined by Mike Berger, talking about the minor leagues, director of player development. And we're going to ask you in just a minute, Bergs, about a a big fella. I saw him this spring. He looked like he should be the bodyguard for all of his teammates. But he's a ball player. His name's Paul Goldschmidt. Tell us about Paul.
Well, look at the numbers. I mean, that pretty much speaks for itself. And, oh, by the way, he's a pretty good defensive player as well. A first baseman, a good base runner, but the power. This is Steve Balboni with and I played with Bonesy in AAA a couple years. This is a Balboni-type player with more athleticism because, frankly, he can do a little bit more than Steve could. Wonderful player.
There's a strike.
Silly numbers right there.
I mean, you finish a season with those numbers and you're happy, and we're 10 days into July.
22 home runs this year already.
Look at this.
1-1 the count to Chris Snyder.
Well, since we're talking about big-time numbers, tell us a little bit about an outfielder named Mark Krause.
Beautiful left-handed hitter. Power to both fields. He's a much better outfielder than you would think just by looking at the size of this guy. Krause's 6'3", 6'4", another NFL-type body, 6'4", about 240. Pretty nimble out there in left field. And, Joel Youngblood did a wonderful job with him over the last 12 months, getting him to be a better left fielder. His jumps, his routes have improved. It's a picture-perfect swing that's going to, as you see, run into quite a bit of power and for average.
Where's he out of?
He's Ohio University. Ohio U.
Second round pick in 09. Scott Snyder, our booth manager, all excited about that.
Fired up.
Tom Brenneman, all excited.
Bobcats.
2-2 the count to Snyder. Swings over the top of that sinking fastball. How about Chase Anderson? Now, he's a right-handed pitcher out of OU, Oklahoma.
Chase, plus changeup, great pitch ability. Breaking balls every bit average as well. Chase started out in South Bend this year, and much like the other guys that were there, proved to us in a very short period of time that he was ready to make the move. Again, tremendous feel for pitching. He's been in Visalia now for, I would say, about a month, and we're just controlling his innings right now to get him through the season. But again, outstanding pitchability with a 70 changeup in the scouting world.
What does that mean?
In the scouting world?
Well, if 50's average, 70's a lot better than average.
Got it.
And he can command it, and he can command the other two pitches as well.
Yeah,
Got
70's really, really good. How about some local guys? Anybody local Arizona guys we might want to talk about?
Well, Matt Helm for one. Matt Helm we drafted last year, I believe, in the 6th round. Don't hold me to that. I don't have it committed to memory.
That's okay.
Matt made the jump at a very young age out of the extended spring program. He's in South Bend doing well, playing a little bit of first, playing a little bit of left. Above average, right-handed hitter with above average power. Like anything else, got to work on his breaking ball discipline. But a guy that we're very, very high on, and again, a guy that's going to run into quite a bit of power.
He's in South Bend, correct?
He is in South Bend.
He's in South Bend. 7th round pick, so
I'm sorry.
I mean,
Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
6th round money, 7th round pick, right?
Exactly.
Here's Rodrigo Lopez. He takes a strike. We're going to keep you for one more half.
Yeah,
Are you okay
absolutely.
with that? Gracie, are you okay with that?
Of course I am.
Yeah.
This is good stuff.
Runners are on first and third, 6-1 the score. Not that we assume an out with Rodrigo hitting. We probably shouldn't do that.
A lot of the credit too with all these players that we're discussing goes to to Tom Allison and our scouting staff. Made it very, very easy for myself and for our staff. They've brought in not only gifted players as far as their ability, but the makeup and character of these players. So many of these guys that we've mentioned are individuals you don't have to worry about. I mean, the Goldschmidts, the Andersons, Cowgills, the Smiths. These guys are self-starters. They're self-motivators. They've been prepared well from the programs they've come out of. And again, a real credit to our scouting staff for finding these guys and bringing them in, because we had a heck of a draft last year.
Well, and that's the draft that a lot of the guys were talking about. But it's a draft, to use an old baseball term, it's a draft and follow, not like we know it. But Tommy helps draft them. And then I see him down in your camp watching his players. He doesn't just hand them off and skedaddle.
No.
He's down there with them.
Service after the sale, and our scouts do the same thing as well. They're coming in during the course of the summer and following up with these players.
He gets, when we go to break, very well. We will step aside a little bit more with Mike Berger, getting to know these kids in the minor leagues. He can be tough on them, too. Company, Ricky Nolasco, Dan Herron, Nate Robertson, Ian Kennedy. Then we'll see what occurs Sunday. Barry Enright up from AA Mobile, and Enright making his third big league start. Let's talk a little bit about AA, if in fact he is still there, as we are joined up in the booth by Mike Berger. Let's talk about Colin Cowgill. Tell us about Colin.
Colin Cowgill. He's a powder keg, 5'10", right-handed hitter, throws left. He's leading. I think he's leading all of minor league baseball in outfield assists. He can play all three and play them exceptionally well, and a ton of power. This is a right-handed hitter, again, about 5'10", that just generates a ton of power. Good base runner, and again, another self-starter, a guy you don't have to worry about. Just turn him loose and let him play.
Donnie Murphy hops in the box. He pinch hits.
I'm a little upset, Mike. You have to forgive me.
He lost the race.
I lost the race again. I came in dead last for the, I think, 7th time in a row.
Hang with him. Hang with him.
Is there anything you can do? You develop players to help his mascot?
Because he stinks.
Stretch a little bit more and eat a little bit less.
That's a fair ball. Down the line it goes. Donnie Murphy is on the move, hitting in the pitcher's spot. Mike Berger joining us up here. A life in the game of baseball, and we're getting to know his young man. And this is immediately after the race. Matt Williams.
Kicked me right in my fanny, too. Just insult to injury.
All right, I want to ask you about Josh Colementer. We have heard his name a lot. We featured him in Waiting with the Wings. Matt Williams has done some time managing down in the minor leagues. Tell us about Josh Colementer.
Well, Colementer has been pitcher of the week at, I believe, 2, if not 3 different levels this year. He started out in Visalia, had a good week, Cal League pitcher of the week. We had an opening in Reno. I don't know if it was Benson related or what, but we had to get a starter in there immediately. Colementer, we had no doubt in our mind. Jeff Pico, our pitching coordinator, Mike Bell, yours truly, run him into Reno. And he's pitcher of the week. His first time ever in AAA. Settled in for about a month. Then we eventually have him go back to, or wind up in Mobile, where he settled in for the last month or so, and his numbers are just ridiculous.
Well, isn't that the guy, Darren, that we gave the player of the game or something because he gave up a walk-off home run?
That was Spottiswood.
Oh, okay.
I was tuned in for that as well.
That wasn't him.
Yeah,
okay.
Spotty's phone was ringing off the hook.
We love that gentleman. There was a young hitter in the minor leagues. Into left field, far late break. Dives! He holds on! Gerardo Parra picked it up just a tick late. Once he did, his athleticism took over. Home Depot doing more on defense.
Beautiful play. Got a late jump, but he certainly made up for it with some closing speed and a beautiful dive.
So Gabby Sanchez, Spottiswood was the guy.
That's
he didn't like.
guy.
He gave up the walk-off, and the guy really celebrated it. And he met him
that.
between second and third.
And I was in there the day before, and Bill Hasselman, who's managing in Bakersfield, Billy and I were teammates in the Texas organization, and, we had a love fest. Good to see one another. Everything's great. Your team's good. Our team's good. I leave there. I go back to Pittsburgh, where I lived for a few days, and the league office is calling me because there are, a bunch of ejections. And, of course, I saw the video, and it was rather impressive. And watched your telecast the next night, and he defended his own.
I love it. Now, Darren's been wanting a big Donnybrook up here for a while now, so, I keep trying to talk him down, and just, be more of a gentleman up here. But, I mean, he's wanting guys hitting the head, hitting the ribs, and
well, he knows.
And I mean, Pier 6 brawls. It's crazy. I just got to talk him down constantly.
Well, it's
remember those good old days in the minor leagues?
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, from the neck down and drive the ball through the rib cage. That's
exactly
what we were
right.
taught with coming up through the Pirate organization.
If you swung hard at one pitch, the next one was right in your ear hole.
Dickie Knowles, I remember in Rochester.
Oh, my goodness.
Dickie was a very tough customer, and I'm a young kid playing in AAA, and I did exactly what you just described. Took a full swing, went down to one knee, because I believed in swing hard in case you hit it. I mean, literally, not only that at bat, but the one after that. It hit me right in the rib cage both times. And that was the message. You're just not going to dig in and take your lump, and you go to first base.
And Dickie really hoped you would come out to the mound and fight. Well,
one of your old minor league managers, Jim Essien.
Oh, my goodness.
We had a couple pretty good brawls with him in the American Association. But, again, you don't want to start anything. You probably want to finish what the other side starts, but hopefully you can get through it 9 innings and you play a pretty clean game, and, you defend your turf and they defend theirs.
If, in fact, we lose you here, if it's out as quickly, tell us about Wade Miley before we do lose you.
Wade is, in my year, 12 months of being on, he's probably made the most improvement. He's taken really good care of himself. He's bought into the conditioning, the prehab, everything associated with being a starting pitcher who has a desire to get to the major league level. Stuff is exceptional. We've got him in Mobile right now, and he's done everything asked of him. And, generally he's going 7-8 innings since he's been there.
And Darren, he's left-handed.
Yeah, left-handed, cut fastball up to 3. Tremendous fielding pitcher, too. Wait till you see this guy get off the mound.
All right,
he can
there
bounce
you go.
on it. Don't bunt on him.
Pitches away. You're proud of that Mobile club. We were talking about the other day, 7 players in the 2010 Southern League All-Star roster.
Wow.
It's wonderful.
That's fabulous.
Truthfully, we're proud of all of them. I think Brett Butler and Mike Parrott and Rick Burleson have done a wonderful job in Reno. There's been a lot of turnover there, as you know, and there's been some injuries. Really, we are. We're proud of the whole group, and the group of coaches and coordinators really is what drives player development. They're the ones that are doing it. I just kind of hover at 30,000 feet and make sure what few rules we have are followed, and the players have done a wonderful job as well.
Mike, what's the process of thinking as far as there's a lot of organizations now that are loading their AA clubs up with prospects and maybe making the AAA guys more the veteran minor leaguers. Are you seeing more and more of that in the minor leagues?
You do, and I think a lot of it depends on where the AA club is located with regard to the major league franchise.
Gotcha.
And, the minor leagues, as we know now, in the last 10, 15 years, have basically been sucked in geographically to their major league club. And really it's a tremendous idea because you're selling your product at all different levels. The travel, the cost to travel is far less. But in those situations where the AA club may be a little closer to the major league affiliate, A-ball might be a little further away, you see that sometime.
Gotcha.
1-2, the count to Hanley Ramirez. Mike Berger talking about his young ball players, future Diamondbacks. Breaking ball just missed. Curveball there, called inside.
Looked like it stayed a bit inside. It did.
Backed up on it.
Oh, the former pitcher and my partner thinks everything's a strike.
Sure he does.
That ball's 6 inches inside. That's the former hitter.
2-2, the count.
Keyword former.
Bouncing ball, Reynolds flags it, couldn't get it off to his left, so Drew will race to pick up the baseball. Reynolds playing it off to his left, Hanley Ramirez reaches.
This kid just hits the ball so hard and takes a short hop. Do or die for Reynolds. That time he did not come up with it. And it gets far enough out into the outfield for Murphy to score, and it's a 6-2 ball game. What were your thoughts about Mark Reynolds a few years ago? Did you ever think you'd see him in this position in the major leagues?
Truthfully, yes.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I had the chance to see him in the minor leagues, and there was obviously raw power, and that's exceptional. The defense is exceptional.
He's athletic, isn't he?
It certainly is.
Thanks,
Mike.
Thank you, guys.
Treat.
Really appreciate it.
What a
Our
treat.
staff appreciates
Thank
it,
you
too.
so much. We appreciate
Thank
all the
you.
hard work you do. Mike Berger joining us up in the broadcast booth, talking about the future of the Diamondbacks, or as we like to call it, the guys waiting in the wings.
Waiting in the wings.
Joining us. Brought to you by Blimpie Gillespie down the line. Couple of runs come across. Parra and Snyder, or Snide Piece, as we like to call him, comes around to score. With a bang at the plate, Kelly Johnson drive to right. Stanton swings that gate open, knocks their closer Nunez to the ground. And another couple of runs come on down, and then Justin Upton with a base hit scoring Kelly Johnson. And a big, big fourth inning, 5 runs across the plate. Diamondbacks fans having fun tonight. Pretty good. The fingers with the Diamondbacks logo. I've never seen a fan do that. I give that gentleman a lot of credit. Well done. Well, we want to thank Mike Berger for coming in and kind of opening up the minor league vault for us. We'll
Good
do this
stuff, wasn't it?
Occasionally. Yeah, he's interesting to listen to. He's got a passion for those kids. But he has expectations, too, and I've been down there in spring training. There's a tower that separates all 4 fields.
Yeah, sure, I've been down there many times.
And I think you folks, after listening to Mike for the last couple of innings, wouldn't be surprised that I've heard him in those towers without, as Tim Wood takes over. Arizona young man without any sort of a microphone or a megaphone.
Just airing some folks out.
From the top of the tower, old school style.
Yeah.
And I like it.
They think they might be getting away with something. I saw that.
The 3-1. He gets them all together. They play a game, as you see, our Amica Insurance hit zone. 77 hits. Well, he walked him. Pitches away. He takes the other way. But they play a game, Gracie, called 27 outs.
Okay.
And what it is you set up defensively, and it's A-ball, double A, triple A, guys that are headed to all 4 different spots. 4 fields going, and they battle one another. And it's just simply put infield, outfield. So you have a coach that hits a ground ball. If it's a ground ball to short, you throw it on a cross. That's 1 out. Fly ball to left. Now they'll set to say, hey, runner on first, 1 out, hit a ground ball to short, you turn 2. Gotcha. Situation, you have to get 27 outs in a row. If you get to 20 outs and you boot 1 or you overthrow a cutoff man, back to 0.
And you can be out there all day long. I had my fair share of Mike Bergers coming through the Cubs system, and they got nothing to do and all day to do it.
Base hit into right field as that one dumps down. Drew's out front. He races on around.
Oh yeah, they'll stay out there till it gets dark. And okay, guys, it's dark. We can quit now. But by the way, we're going to start right back up again at 8 in the morning.
As soon as the sun comes back.
Oh yeah.
Justin Upton facing pitcher on the mound, Tim Wood. A little bit more on the right-hander, Mark McClune. Let's bring him in, Mark.
Yeah, I talked to Tim Wood before the game. He's actually a Tucson native, went to Sabino High School, and pretty nervous right now. He said he thought he was going to be pretty nervous making making an appearance tonight at Chase Field because he's from Arizona. He was with the Marlins last year, got sent down right before the series here in Arizona. So 40 or 50 people showed up at the game, and he was actually down in the minors. But back in the majors and pitching in his home state, guys, 7 years for Wood in the minors, 2 arm surgeries, so a long road to get here.
Yeah, great story. Welcome back home, Tim Wood. As Big Mac mentioned, he had a big block of seats set aside and got sent back down. I imagine a lot of folks in attendance checking out number 64. Sabino High School producing J.J. Hardy as well.
That's right. J.J.'s still hurt, I believe, with the Twins.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's a shame. I'm a J.J. Hardy fan.
Oh, I know. Oh man! Since I love Family Ties back in the 80s, how about catching the Marlins and the D-backs this Family Friday? For just $20, you get a ticket to the game plus $10 in food and beverage credit. $10. Call 602-462-4794 or visit dbacks.com/Friday.
That's a great read.
That's called a segue.
That's a great read.
And a big league one.
2-0 the count.
Well, it really wasn't.
2-1. Actually low, 3-0 the count. That one low below the knees. So 3 balls, no strikes, nobody out. Upton singled in a run back in the 4th inning.
lot of families at the yard this week. Good to see them out here. We hope to see you the rest of this series. 3 more against Florida, especially over the weekend if you can make it out. Greg Schulte bobblehead on Saturday night. The Governor bobblehead being given away. And a mixer that night as well. 80s night.
I need a Governor. I haven't gotten one yet.
There's one back there behind you. You get your very own Governor.
All right, cool.
There we go.
Unfortunately for Greg Schulte, I'm sure once I give my children their very own Governor, it'll probably meet the same fate that all the other bobbleheads like Randy Johnson and Luis Gonzalez, myself, Steve Finley, his head will get ripped right off.
Young Queen Kylie looking on there. The 3-2. Outside, ball 4.
Right back come the Diamondbacks after giving up a run. Follow Fox Sports Arizona's coverage of D-backs baseball on your iPhone, iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and Android with MLB.com at bat 2010. Play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcast. Visit dbacks.com for more details.
Much better read. Bases loaded.
You stay out of this.
For Adam LaRoche. Line drive, center field, base hit. 1 run is in. Youngblood up with the stop sign. Right to the cutoff man, LaRoche, as they try and throw behind Upton. And he was called safe and then out. Called safe and then out. And Joe West explaining. Kirk Gibson will ask for an explanation. Here comes Gibby for the first time. An argument as a major league manager. Seems like Joe had a reason. When he made it, we'll see it most of the time. Joe gets it right. Let's see.
His foot's not on the bag. That's exactly the right call. That is exactly the right call.
And he initially called safe, Gracie, but you could see he turned and spotted that foot wasn't there, and he's out. Usually upon replay, whether it's we had him earlier, going to your mouth without wiping off your hand, a ball.
Joe doesn't miss much. That's why it wasn't much of an argument with Kirk Gibson, because Kirk Gibson was pretty much convinced that Joe West got it right.
That's why they make that call. And a nice job, by the way. That's why you hit the cutoff man when you're throwing from the outfield.
Very well said, Darren Sutton. Nice job by Adam LaRoche.
No balls and 2 strikes to count to Mark Reynolds.
This is where Mark Reynolds got a chance to, quote Matt Williams, just get a onesie. Go ahead and get a freebie here. Free RBI. All you got to do is just hit a little soft ground ball somewhere, a medium fly ball. Something like that.
Ball. There's your medium fly ball.
There's your onesie. Nicely done, Mark Reynolds. Nicely done.
With 2 strikes.
Doggone right.
With 2 strikes. 55 RBIs. These are the things that we're talking about when we speak about Kirk Gibson, his expectations, some of the things he wants his guys to improve upon.
Man, you just feel so much better about yourself. That little easy fly ball out there, that's all it takes. Good for Mark Reynolds. These guys are playing good baseball tonight. I've been ready for it.
Happy Sweet 16. We've all been ready for it, and hopefully they will hold on and win for you tonight. Parra drives it to right field. Racing is Stanton off the base of the wall. Stanton up with it. Youngblood, stop sign out. Runners are on second and third with 2 outs.
But Parra, he just got his 4th hit of the game.
How about his night?
First pitch fastball, bang, right off the center of the wall. The only problem is he hit it too hard and LaRoche couldn't score.
Tying his career high with his 11th double of the season. The career high in a game, 4 hits. He did it twice last year. He's going to get another shot to get to 5 hits on the night. Here's Chris Snyder. 8-2 the score. 0-1 the count. APS Energy All-Star, you bet. You get 4 hits in a ball game. You make a diving play as well. Here's our APS Energy All-Star. Broken bat roller on the backhand, setting in the dirt. Everybody's safe. Coming on down to score the second run. How important are 2 things? Number 1, putting it in play if you're Chris Snyder. Number 2, a first baseman who can clean things up.
That's exactly right. Gabby Sanchez had trouble a couple of times cleaning balls up tonight. And because of that, his infielders get errors. The errors aren't on the first baseman, but they are on his infielders. If he comes up with it, it's out number 3. Instead, 2 more runs come across, and the value of a defensive first baseman is being shown. What's our official score on that, Darren Sutton? Do we have one yet?
Base hit and an error. Base hit and an error. So 1 RBI. Base hit and an error, as we mentioned. Ouch. Your thoughts on that?
I'm okay with it.
Right.
I think it would have taken an above average play by Dan Ugla.
Well, we're going to talk about, by the way, you and Adam LaRoche are going to get together as we see Gillespie go down in a pile right off his foot. But you two are going to get together at first base. We're going to bring a couple of microphones and a camera. You're just going to talk about first base, digging baseballs out.
Talk about footwork over there. Talk about positioning and when to play the line, when not to play the line, when to play up on the grass.
Bouncing ball out to third. On in time for the out. Another big inning for Arizona as they add on top of the Marlins. Making that run I thought they would make. And Colorado's Ubaldo Jimenez a winner again. And it's always a good day, as Lou Piniella told us yesterday, when you're beating the Dodgers.
Colorado really handed it to the Cardinals.
They
3
did.
in a row. A 9-run 9th inning to beat them a couple of nights ago, and then they came back again on them last night before Ubaldo Jimenez beat Chris Carpenter this afternoon. That's a nice little pitching matchup, isn't it?
It's a great pitching matchup. Jimenez, as that one is swung right through. A changeup way out front. Jimenez, 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. He struck out 6. West high-speed, internet high-speed pitch. 95 and 90 for our 2 pitchers. But Jimenez, with an ERA of 2.20, he is 15 and 1. 15 wins and 1 loss. There are a lot of people that talk about Ubaldo Jimenez. I'd love your thoughts about this at this point. Now, at this point, if they were to vote, they say Ubaldo Jimenez may be the most valuable player in the National League. All right, thought I'd get your thoughts.
Joey Votto. Hands down. Ubaldo Jimenez is on, what, a 3rd-place team?
Somewhere around there. They're in the race, though. I mean, it's not as if they're 3rd place with the Colorado Rockies. Let's see where they stand exactly. Coming into play today, they're 3 games back in 2nd place.
2nd place. Okay. Joey Votto is on a 1st-place team. He is having a fabulous year. And Dan Uggla can't believe the call there from Dan Bellino. And he's rung up on the outside corner. I think he got a pretty good break there, and so does Fox Tracks.
And another strikeout looking. Where does he get a swing and a miss strikeout? 65% of his strikeouts are looking. Very high number. That's twice what the average pitcher does at about 26% strikeouts looking. So tomorrow on the show, on our pregame show, we will have a discussion on who will start the All-Star game. Johnson, Jimenez.
If I'm Charlie Manuel, it will be Josh Johnson. Ouch. But he's wearing one of those elbow pads, so I think he's going to be just fine. Which reminds me, have you seen this Alfonso Soriano in the lineup for the Cubs today?
I think we should check.
He got smoked. Yeah, those elbow pads keep that from hurting.
Alfonso Soriano.
Evan Jackson got him last night hard.
You bet. He's in the lineup, and he is homered.
He'll be just fine. That's actually good news.
Mike Stanton, slow breaking ball, strike 1. We're talking about Stanton in the minor leagues in 53 games, 53 in Double-A, 21 home runs, 52 RBIs. Silly numbers. Breaking ball fouls that one off at the plate. 0-2 the count. Jack McDowell out of Sherman Oaks, Notre Dame High School.
He's just come such a long way since his days of being a left-handed reliever with the Braves and the Yankees.
And this is actually a different Mike Stanton.
Oh. Well, I was going to say he turned himself into a heck of a hitter.
UNLV wanted him to come and play football and baseball. USC wanted him to come play football. Strike 3 over the outside corner. He tried to bowl down the right field wall while he was bowling down high school pitchers, high school football players. Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play.
Look out!
He bowled down his closer there. Well, you don't see video like that very often. Leo Nunez hobbled around for a while after that. 2 outs.
Let's hope he's okay.
Another strikeout looking,
sorry,
by the way.
It's not funny, but it just looked kind of funny.
Well, it's rare when you have a pitcher down there. You know, those. Yeah, he's still checking out that leg, isn't he? Everything works and is in place. Well, if you have your spikes up against the gate, which is how they were, and then that gate gets knocked open, that could really tweak the knee a bit. 1-1 the count.
Well, you're not expecting the fence to come crumbling in on you. Usually those things are there to protect you.
They had the latch down on it, but the guys came out later with almost like an industrial vacuum, as if the hole where the latch drops down wasn't holding on.
I mean, like Justin Upton, not near as big. Justin Upton's a big kid. Look out! Holy smokes. But Justin's a big kid. We haven't seen, I mean, this guy is really, really big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're talking USC football. They don't take those scrawny guys at USC.
No, they don't.
Or San Diego State.
Anyway, the 1-2 is lifted down the line. Brett Hayes touches it off, and it's out of here. So a 2-run shot for Hayes' first home run of the year.
Sort of some stunned silence now with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Hayes having himself a nice night. Fastball right down the middle and right down the line for a long ball. That's officially center cut right there, unfortunately for Rodrigo.
Mike Lamb, veteran pinch hitter, drives it into left center field. A diving attempt there by the center fielder Gillespie. Lamb hoofing it on around, heading into third. They'll just eat it. Well, it was a couple of nights ago that Cole Gillespie thrilled us with a play in a similar manner. Nearly came up with another one.
You certainly love the effort. And I would imagine now the bullpen phone probably going to ring shortly as the lineup turns over. Beautiful effort, man. You'd love to see that from Cole Gillespie. Just comes up a couple inches short. And Mike Lamb can't get to third base quick enough.
Well, that's Mike's first triple since 2008. Pitch runs away to Chris Coughlin.
You just got to be patient with triples.
Do they come in bunches for you?
Oh, no.
When you'd wait for them?
No. I just stopped at second. Triples made you tired.
Yeah, you can tell Glenn was tired there.
He's still gassed, see? Triples make you tired.
Some pretty good guys to have in your bench. You have Wes Helms, Big Tex we like to call it. Mike Lamb, a couple of good bench players.
Good pitch there, a slider of beauty. Let's see if Rodrigo can strike out the side. Right on the inside corner, beautifully done.
Coughlin, the Rookie of the Year a season ago. His first 41 games, he had 33 hits. He hit .210. In his last 39 games, he has got 53 hits. He's flying high. It was right there between the pitcher's mound and home plate. Chris Snyder saying no good seats available here. I don't mind if you watch from up there.
Rodrigo wanted the inside corner. He didn't get it.
3-2 the count. And Bellino didn't like that one. As a strike.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So
definitely inside.
Have to throw another one. Bouncing ball. Wade Johnson, that ball flattened out on the lip of the grass. Couple of runs across the plate on a home run by Hayes, but Rodrigo, he's just fine. 87 pitches.
5-run fourth inning, part of the big picture, Joe Borowski, but you've been watching for the subtle things, and you're encouraged about this team turning things around.
Brad, we mentioned on the pregame about creating an atmosphere of change. It's those things that I've been focusing on, those immediate and long-term changes that I'm going to break down on the postgame.
Guys, we'll be here after the game with Quest D-backs live, and Mark Grace in the pregame show said he signed a free agent deal with the Heat. So congratulations, Gracie. Yeah, back to you guys.
What? You're leaving?
Well, I got a maximum contract. I'm joining Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron James.
Is that basketball?
I'm gonna. That's the NBA.
Okay.
NBA, National Basketball Association.
I'm not a fan.
And
anyway.
I'm gonna be I got a maximum contract to be the color analyst down there with Pat Riley and the boys. And we got issues. Again with the
Grant's going to
right field fence, I'm assuming.
Is it the fence that he's working on, or is he going to do a little work on the mound?
Well, he's out in right field. How can he do work on the mound?
Well, I don't know if he's calling for someone or what's going on, because we're all gathered around the mound here. Grant does a great job, but they have him busy right now. Grant Trembreath. We're heading on out to talk with the outfielders.
Big divot out there. A little soft out there, I guess.
Evidently, the Florida Marlins talking about that.
Yeah, I just put a couple. But then again,
want to remind everyone, baseball's biggest stars go head-to-head in this summer's biggest event. Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the All-Star Game. Tuesday, July 13th, live from Anaheim, Orange County, California at 5, only on Fox. It's interesting how kind of look at the grass and some of the area that's come loose there. Marlins look at it as if they're stunned with what to do with a little bit of loose grass. Maybe just stomp your spikes on it, guys. It's not going to bite you.
But at the same time, the last thing you want to do is get a major league player hurt. Whether it be Mike Stanton or Justin Upton.
Fair enough.
The Diamondback right fielder. Because of some shoddy sod.
Everyone appears to be happy anyway, and we have a little bit of loose sod that had come up, cleaned up. There was a sprinkler that had some water loosening things up over there early on. Not quite sure what it was, but everything seems to be okay. Brian Sanchez goes to work for the 29th time this year, and he's done very good work. Okay, you talk about sod and maybe not comfortable. That's enough reason for Donnybrook for me.
You know what? I never really thought about it like that, but I think you're right, Darren. I think they need to empty the benches. I mean, fill Chase Field with haymakers.
Is he all right out there?
I think he's still a little sore. He took a shot from his right fielder and the fence.
Stanton making sure everything's just right for himself. You're right, Justin Upton, Mike Stanton, you want it just so out there. Grant doing a great job getting it all set. They do I tell you, a challenging job. This is earlier.
Bam. Look out.
He's all right, though. He is much further back from the gate now.
Can you blame him?
Oh, and 1 the count. Abreu, 237. Sanchez misses inside. 1-1 the count. By the way, only 4 strikeouts tonight by Diamondbacks hitters so far. Trying to avoid the National League record, 6th consecutive game with 10 or more strikeouts.
I like their chances.
I do too.
Because you're hoping they won't have to hit in the bottom of the ninth.
Amen. Stephen Drew waits on deck. Rodrigo Lopez, a good night. 7 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. Abreu shoots that one into left center field. How far will it roll? The throw is in time. Abreu's out.
Don't mind the effort. Took a perfect throw from Coughlin. And he made a perfect throw. Really nice job there, cutting it off, spinning, and throwing a right to Ugla, who got the tag down just in the nick of time.
Stephen Drew down, but it's foul. Nice play made by our Golden Glover down there.
Who is our Golden Glover down there tonight, Darren Sutton?
Well, I'm glad you asked. That's Gordy Nygaard. Gordy making a nice play.
Attaboy, Gordy. Nicely done.
And Shirley Lohman is down on the other side. Shirley doing
Shirley's
a fine
had a bit
job.
of a quiet night tonight, but maybe she'll get one shortly.
Out front, change up. Sanchez with an underhanded flip in time for the out.
Second baseman, Kelly Johnson.
Here's Kelly Johnson. Triple, couple of singles. He's had a great night. There's a strike. 0-1 the count to Kelly. I hope to see you out here, by the way, this Saturday. We'll tell you why in just a moment. Ball game, obviously. 80s night. Governor bobblehead. A lot going on. As that one is pulled. Base hit right field. Cheated out a bit with the body, but the hand stayed back enough. A base hit for Kelly.
4-hit game for him now.
That's exactly right. And you know what? I want to remind you that between the ages of 10 and 14, we want to see you up in the booth with us. You can audition to be a kidcaster Saturday between 3 and 5 at the Plaza area before the Diamondbacks game. Kidcaster. You know what, too, Gracie? He was rewarded. Gave himself up. Nice little ground out back in the first inning. Got an RBI, but since then it's been a hit every other at bat. He took an 0-for and an RBI and is 4-for since.
I know you and I are big believers in what we call the baseball gods.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball gods smile on you when you give yourself up for the good of the team. He's had a terrific year. He's been a terrific pickup for the Diamondbacks this year.
7th career 4-hit game. That's a career high. 3rd time this season. You bet he's been a terrific pickup.
We call him hard-hitting Kelly Johnson.
That we do, the Texas boy. I like to call him Big Tex, but that name's already taken by Wes Helms.
A good friend of the show.
You bet he is. From North Carolina.
Oh.
The 1-1. Upton drives it center field. Ross going back to the wall. He leaps. He's got it. Upton gave it a ride. We play on. 10-4. Arizona leads. Glad to have you back at the ballpark. Tomorrow night, Dan Heron and the D-backs face off against the Marlins. Fox Sports Arizona coverage presented by Bluebell Ice Cream begins at 6. Now, remember that July is ice cream month. Discover Bluebell's newest flavor, Caramel Kettle Crunch. Caramel Kettle Crunch. And we'll have the ball game for you tomorrow. We also tell you Sam Demmel goes to work. Billy Johnson has 10 hits in this homestand now. He's 10 for 24.
Smashing the baseball. Out at the pool. Looks like date night. Maybe a mixer out there.
A mixer? Look at the sink on that pitch. That one misses low. Demmel came over in the Connor Jackson trade, or Kojak, as Gracie liked to call him, as he was sent to Oakland.
You know, I haven't been following. How's Kojak doing in Oakland?
Well, he went on the disabled list with a hamstring injury.
He had done that. That happened earlier this year.
Otherwise, kind of mixed results offensively. It's been a tough couple of years for Connor. It really has been. Came back last year from that horrible Valley fever to play this season. I think everyone was excited about it. It almost appeared like it that much time off and that much time away from the game. Is that when his rolled foul? Even though he played great in winter ball, it seemed like he just wasn't quite the same, was he? With regard to strength and driving the ball in the batter's box. Demmel, on the other hand, was acquired in the trade in 24 appearances in AAA Sacramento. His ERA 1.26, 28 2/3 innings, 28 strikeouts. Popped up. Snyder will give it a look. Rattles around. Don't forget, Operation Homefront of Arizona, partnering up with Fox Sports Arizona, providing emergency assistance to military service members. In July, Back to School Brigade. Bring backpacks and school supplies for the children of military families. Go to foxsportsarizona.com for all Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tucson, Mesa drop-off locations. So Gabby Sanchez will hang around a little bit more. He is really in a special club with regard to leading rookies. A higher on-base percentage than Hayward, higher slugging percentage. It's 366 with runners in scoring position.
That's
as a rookie.
Big step for me.
0 for 3 tonight, but you won't keep him down for long. I know you had the Marlins-Braves game this past week, didn't you?
I did. 5 days ago. Had Anibal Sanchez as well against the Braves.
And a Marlins fan in the house. 3-2. He gives that one a ride. Gillespie on the run, still going, and it's high off that wall. As we were saying, you won't keep him down for long.
Chris Coughlin got the Rookie of the Year last year for the Florida Marlins. I think if you had to vote today, you'd have to give it to this kid. Yeah, Jason Hayward certainly came with the fanfare before the season even started, but he's been on the DL for a long time now. And then, of course, Steven Strasburg burst onto the scene. But at the end of the day, this guy has better numbers, much better numbers than Strasburg's pitched, what, 5 times?
5 or 6 times, yes.
And he's 2-2 with a ERA in the high 2s. And Gabby Sanchez has just impressed everybody. Yep, he's the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting when Sanchez gets that Rookie of the Year award.
As that one runs away. You can see through 81 games the comparison for these couple of rookies when they broke onto the scene. It's kind of your Gabby Sanchez out of the University of Miami is having. Gabby Sanchez right now winning the Rookie of the Year award, and Ubaldo Jimenez is the MVP.
Well, no.
The 0-1.
I got Sanchez as Rookie of the Year right now, if the season ended right now. And Joey Votto of the Cincinnati Reds. He's definitely the MVP. A close second is David Wright of the New York Mets.
And then Ubaldo Jimenez.
Well, no. He's not even going to win the Cy Young. Josh Johnson might.
The 1-1. And tomorrow in our pregame show, we'll talk about Johnson versus Ubaldo in the All-Star game. The most wins by a pitcher since David Wells won 15 heading into the All-Star game in 2000. Wilbur Wood, all-time leader, 18 wins in 73.
How many's Ubaldo got?
He's got 15.
15 wins.
15 wins, the most in 10 years heading into the All-Star
That's
game.
awesome. Got to give him that.
Pitches outside.
15-1?
15-1.
He's going to be a good runner-up for the Cy Young Award.
How about comeback player of the year? He may get some consideration for what he has accomplished.
Right now, he's got a pretty good lock on it.
Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Henley goes down.
Who's your MVP? Ubaldo?
Absolutely.
Harold.
Here's Jorge Cantu. Pitches away, 1-0 the count to Jorge Cantu.
I think another guy. Oh, back to, yeah, this is.
What an effort.
Look out. Bang. Whoop, oh, hey. Down goes Nunez. Another guy that's got to get a lot of MVP considerations, Andre Ethier, the Dodgers.
Yes. I would agree with that. I think you have a pretty good feel for things, Gracie. It's good to talk MVP voting with you.
Well, thank you.
Isn't it a funny thing about the San Diego Padres? What a great story they are. And they have, about 15 MVPs on their team? To their team, not in the National League. They play a brand of team baseball.
Fabulous. They pitch.
And boy, do they pitch. 2-1 the count.
And that's the thing. If you can pitch, you're going to be in every game. And boy, when they get the lead after 6 innings, cancel Christmas. Gregerson, Adams, Bell.
No one in the top 10 in RBIs. No one in the top 10 in batting average. No one in the top 10 in runs scored. Adrian Gonzalez, 9th in total bases. Swing and a miss, 2-2 the count.
But did we mention how they pitch?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, the Padres are in first place, too.
Just off the plate, 3-2 the count. San Diego 50-35 on the year. Colorado 3 back and LA 3.5 back.
San Francisco still right there. They just went in and pasted the Milwaukee Brewers the last 3 days.
The 3-2. Bouncing ball, ranging to his left is Steven. In time for the out, Jorge Cantu. Meantime, in the Eastern Division, Florida needing a run of some sort soon to climb back into the race, but I don't think you ever consider this club out of it. Smaller payroll, 40 and 44. Atlanta, New York, Philadelphia, and Florida. Boy, it'll be interesting to see if New York jumps into the trading pool with both feet and makes a big splash.
You see Atlanta hanging on, or you think somebody else is going to win that thing?
I see Atlanta hanging on. I think Atlanta might still make a move on an offensive player, too. They keep talking about Corey Hart from Milwaukee being a match in Atlanta. They can starting pitch and they can relieve Atlanta.
Doggone right. Billy Wagner having a terrific year, and what he has said is going to be his last year in the major leagues.
Going to miss him. Hitters won't miss him. I know you'll say, see you later.
Oh, no. I got him when he threw about 102. Now he only throws about 96.
Those 96 with much more wisdom, too,
exactly.
because he's been around for a long time.
Much better breaking ball.
0-2 the count to Dan Ugla. Rule 5 pick away from this organization a couple of years back. Steven to his knees, right back up, got it. At one point you thought maybe Dan Ugla would be his double play partner in the big leagues. Now he's just a foe that he guns down.
Back in downtown Phoenix, 10 runs, 15 hits for the Arizona Diamondbacks. A lot of credit to go around for tonight's big number up on the scoreboard. But the player of the game and the MVP might be Scott Flansburgh, joining me now in the stands. He's known as the human calculator, and you had a little discussion with the team pregame. What'd you say?
Gibby invited me to come down and talk to the guys, and I just showed them how I see the world through numbers and how I see baseball and numbers combined, and just tried to help them clear their mind like I clear my mind when I'm doing calculations. I started zero, calculator started zero. These guys just needed a little reset, and Gibby nailed it, and saw him yesterday morning. He said, get down here and get these guys going, and it's just an honor to be a part of it.
How did you meet Gibby?
Through Danny Z, right here behind us. Danny Z is Mr. Live Nation Arizona. So we were at a show last month with Alice and Cheryl Cooper and a whole circle of friends, and we were just having fun with Gibby, messing with him, doing snaps and birthdays and things like that, and just hit it off instantly. Great guy.
All right, I'm going to give you 2 birthdays, and I want you to tell me what day of the week it fell on. The first one would be Mark Grace.
Okay, what's Gracie's birthday?
June 28th, 1964.
He was born on a Sunday. He turned 21 in 1985 on a Friday, and this year's birthday was a Monday.
Are we correct?
Well, let me check.
He doesn't even know.
I can help him. I can help him on this year's. What did he say this year's was?
What was this year's? What was it? June 28th. This year was a Monday. It just happened.
Yeah, he's exactly right.
All right, how about October 21st, 1969?
That was a Tuesday, and he turned 21 on a Sunday, and this year it's on a Thursday.
Is that right, Darren Sutton?
That's correct. That's correct. 41 years old.
Now that your mind is all warmed up, I'm going to hit you with the big one.
All right.
All right, Mark Grace played 16 years in the big leagues.
He's old. Just kidding, buddy.
All right, he had 2,445 career hits. How many?
445 and 152.8 hits per season.
I think that counts as stumping you, right?
Absolutely. That's impressive. 153 hits. We take that right now with a few players on our team.
All right, and I know there's 2 outs, but real quick, Mark Reynolds, you had a lot of fun with him pregame, right?
Mark Reynolds had the calculator and raced me, and I actually did my world record. So pick a 2-digit number and say it out loud, and I'll start counting by it to show you what he did.
27.
27 plus 27 is 54, plus 27 is 81, 108, 135, 162, 189, 216, 243, 270, 297, da-da-da-da, like that. I can do it faster than a machine. That's my world record.
That's a world. We just saw a world record.
Yeah, and I'm the global ambassador for World Math Day. So get all the kids on there, and it's free and it's fun, and just gives them a chance to have a positive experience with math. And that's what we did tonight in the locker room, was give these guys a chance to just change their frame of mind for a minute and have fun with digits, and hopefully it translates out here on the field.
Well, certainly fun to talk to you. TheHumanCalculator.com, right?
One thing, guys, Gracie, there's 9 ways to get to first base without getting a hit. Tell me what they are. 9 ways.
9
All
ways.
Right, we'll send it back to the booth on that.
All right, here we go. Number 1, a walk.
Correct.
Wait, there you go. How about getting hit by a pitch?
That's 1, hit by a pitch.
Okay. Well, I've said walk, too.
Oh, walk, too. Good man.
Okay. How about catcher's interference?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Most people don't get that.
Okay. You can also reach on an error.
Yes.
You can reach first by striking out and the ball getting away.
Pass ball, beautiful.
We're going to have to go to break.
I can't tell you the rest.
We're going to have to go to a break.
Okay.
And, hello? Is this on? Hello?
Baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on Quest High-Speed Internet. Blazing fast speeds that won't burn up your wallet. Blimpie, America's sub shop. Your Valley Hyundai dealers. Time now for the 7th inning stretch. Your dollar. Hyundai, the most fuel-efficient car maker in America. ValleyHyundaiDealers.com. Well, that is beautiful. Some of the time-lapse sights from up in Cave Creek in Arizona. As we bring you to the 9th inning.
Well, I got to come up with 5 more ways to get to first base, don't I? I did come up with one during the break. I remember I actually reached base this way.
Yes.
I hit a ball that there was a guy, Sean Dunston was on first base, and I hit a ball that hit him. The ball hit the base runner, and I was awarded first base. He was out, but I was awarded first base. Does that count?
I think so, yes. The base runner, absolutely.
All right. How about a fielder's choice? A fielder's choice.
Oh, well done.
You can reach first base.
Demo fires a strike to Ross.
And I think I need 2 more.
The 0-1. Bouncing ball. It's a foul ball. Reynolds fires it anyway. Goodness gracious.
That's a heck of a play, though. How about if the pitcher illegally goes to his mouth when you've got a 3-ball count and the pitcher wipes illegally or goes to his mouth? Does that count as a? Is that considered a walk because it's ball 4? Or is
I think that's a walk. I think that's a walk.
Something else that comes to mind, I guess I could go to first base. This never happened for me, but you can go to first base as a pinch runner.
Yeah, that's a possibility. But you're going to first base. You're not necessarily reaching.
Well,
Umpire's interference is a way.
Umpire's interference.
Umpire instructing the ball itself, and it hits the umpire. You reach with umpire's interference.
I didn't get that. That was fun.
Driven to right field. Justin Upton is there for the first out. Cody Ross is erased.
Well, Dan, I was not here for Kirk Gibson's first major league win, but I know the final score was lopsided. Did they play better than they played tonight, the Arizona Diamondbacks?
They played a really crisp, inspired, sharp game. But in a lot of ways, no, because they've been through the ringers and have bounced back tonight. I'm more impressed with tonight. I think what we saw was, and I certainly don't mean to be critical, I was proud to call it and cover it for Gibby, but that was the 6 cup of coffee game, if you follow me there. They were worked up and raring and excited and a lot of energy. This is a different kind of motivate yourself night. Quieter crowd. Dodgers were in town.
Gotcha.
I give them credit for this ball game tonight. If that makes sense.
Sure it does. They were swept by a below average Chicago Cub team. And they didn't get their dauber down. That's very impressive. They came out from the very beginning, scored a very unselfish run, and then just continued to pile on. And let's not forget, Rodrigo Lopez was very good tonight.
Breaking ball.
Again.
1-2 the count. He's been a great story. Rodrigo Lopez beat Tampa Bay. He beat New York. He's about to beat the Florida Marlins. Pitched in an ugly 6-error game against the Dodgers and deserved the fate. He deserves some runs tonight. The 1-2. That one bounces in there. Don't forget to hop on to FoxSportsArizona.com. A lot of emails from Mike Berger tonight. You can email the booth. We'll continue to address those emails. Baseball matters. Post-game interviews. Coverage of the Diamondbacks. All on FoxSportsArizona.com. 2-2. Gemmel fires that one away. 3-2 the count. Dan will work tomorrow. Swings right through that one. Snyder's going to have to hustle it with Stanton from his knees. Nice job, Chris. You can see he caved down, started to fall down, and did not ever get anything close to in the proper throwing position.
But he still made the play at the end of the day. I'm not sure if the turf gave on him. Once he corrals it, let's see what happens. Whoa, hey! He's just fine and made a good play. 1 out away from Kirk Gibson's second Major League victory as a manager.
Fastball is high. 1-0 the count. Don't forget, post-game show, Quest Diamondbacks Live, coming up right around the corner. Stick with us. Gracie and I will weigh in as well. Brad and Joe will break the game down. 1-1 the count. And then we'll be right back with you tomorrow. And Saturday and Sunday. And every game in the second half, Gracie and I will be there with you.
Doggone right. As the endless 4th of July weekend continues.
What a weekend it is. High pop. So you can shoot those fireworks off right now. The Diamondbacks win it 10-4. Handshakes for Kirk Gibson. Rodrigo Lopez, a tip of the cap. Sam Demmel takes it to the finish line. This is one of those everybody has fun kind of ball games, and I think when you're a struggling team, especially Gracie, I think mentally you need nights like tonight.
I think you're absolutely right. This was, at the end of the day, it was a laugher. You had a couple of guys with 4 hits, Kelly Johnson, Gerardo Parra. Just a feel-good game for Kirk Gibson and his staff, and a much-needed feel-good game.
So we will kick it on out to our post-game show. It's Quest Diamondbacks Live. Brad Stanky, Joe Borowski, they will host it. Gracie and I will join them as well. We appreciate you hanging out for baseball with us.